So, one of the questions that was asked, David, what are your tools of trade? What kind of clippers you use? What kind of clippers you prefer? So, I'm gonna go over with the clippers that I have here today. I have some at home, clippers I started out with, but I kind of retired them, put them on the shelf. So perhaps next time we'll bring those out too. So let me begin my expose of the tools that I use. So when it comes to clippers, I believe every barber absolutely must have, if you're a professional barber, a pair of these. These are called Andis Masters, and they're the ones that you can actually use with the guard. And these are the best guards for them, in my opinion, what I like. And I only have 0, 1, and 2. And these are especially good when it comes to black people hair. When you're doing fades, when you're doing flat tops, any type of cuts. And the best feature about these clippers is when you're actually cutting, you can hear them cut the hair. And that's how you know if you're clean, if you pass the fade or you're done past the fade, or there's still some hair that you need to work on. So these are a must. They're a bit heavy though, so you get a little workout. Next up, these are my star clippers. I can't do haircuts without them. I mean, I love them because one thing any barber knows is a haircut can be not as sharp, but once you do a sharp, crispy lineup, that's it, it'll solve all your problems. So what I use is ProMates. I used to use Andis GTXs, which they're cool, I like them, nothing against them, but they heat up a little too quick, especially if I'm doing design work. And one of the barbers that I used to work with, he got a pair of these and recommended. So I took them. They do take the GTX blade, so you can take it off the Andis clippers and put it on them. I like the thing that right here, you can unscrew it a little, take the cap off so they breathe better. And of course, any barber knows that anytime you take a GTX blade, you gotta adjust it. And if anybody wants to know later, we'll go over in detail how to do that. But these are my liners. So what I do with them is I do sharp lineups, and I got them adjusted super sharp, and ProMates, real good clippers. I love them, and they don't heat up as quick. So next up, I have is Cordless Envis. So a little intro about Cordless, which I was apprehensive about the idea at first, but I got into it more and more as I started out trying out new clippers. Once you get rid of the cords in a barbershop, you're almost like Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? You got the freedom, you can move everywhere you want. And the best thing about these clippers is they're so light in your hands. So you know if you're cutting all day, you don't get as tired. So I have these Andis Envi LIs, and I use these for bolt fades. So what I did is, once again, I adjusted the blade super close, and I don't use it with any guards. This is just to get rid of the bottom line. I use these. Next up, I have Whal Magic Clip, Cordless, same thing, same idea. I adjusted them a little, only for this one I do use guards, and these are my favorite guards, balls. And once again, I'll have the information down in comments, but I use these for fading all day. Same thing, super light, the motor is really nice, the battery will last you probably like half a day, easy, even if you're cutting a lot. And if you run out of juice, no problem. You just pick up the cord, plug it in, cut for about 2 cuts, unplug it, and you're good to go once again. So if you're in a barbershop standing all day, I would definitely say cordless is the way to go. I do have another pair of Whal's Sterling 4s, and those are my favorite, but the little piece in there broke and I sent them off to get fixed. When I get them back, I'll show them to you too. So this little bad boy right here is what almost all barbers use for shaving. And you either use Whal 5 stars or you use Andis. That's what I've seen in most barbershop, most Instagram videos. And I love this little machine. It's super sharp, super fast, and you use it for bolt fades or even doing a little shave. And honestly, as an owner of, let's say, Braun Edition razors and this one, I prefer this one. It only costs 60 bucks. I mean, I think 80 bucks. But I'm telling you, the speed it has when it comes to shaving, phenomenal, ridiculous. So I recommend it to everybody. Next up, a pair of clippers that almost every barber has. If you're working with kids or you're doing designs, is this little bad boy, Andis Slimline Cordless Trimmer. And it is the bomb. Of course, when you buy it, the blade is not adjusted and you have to adjust it as well. So if you want to know how to adjust it, just submit a comment below and we'll do a full video on how to adjust blades on any clipper, take them apart, whatever you want to know. So these are super. I love it because they're not as sharp as my other ones, and I use it a lot on kids' hair when I'm doing kids lineups. And most importantly, I use it when I do my designs. Any designs I do in hair, I always do the first, what is it called? Print, whatever, carbon print, whatever. I do the first one with these, and then I go over with everything else. Next up is my detachable blades. Now, it took me about a year to understand the beauty of detachable blades. So let me put it down this way. If you're cutting hair for fun, you probably don't need this, and that's too much money. But if you're in it to win it, if you want to become a pro, this is absolutely a must for any barber to know how to use and have. The best part about it is I think this is one of the blades that will cut hair even. All the other clippers, they cut it nice, but not as even. When you cut with detachable blades, it's almost like you're creating one tone, one color. And I love it to set the base, to fade, and it just takes some time getting used to, but I'm telling you, this is probably the best clipper that I have. Now, I used to have the one on the cord, and it was Andis clipper. It was pretty good, powerful motor, XL. I'll cover it in the next video. The only thing that sucks, once again, is cords. When you're in a barbershop, if you get used to it, you don't mind it. But once you try cordless, I'm telling you, you'll never go back. I mean, cordless is almost like having wings and flying. Like you're not bound by no limits. So this one, it has a lithium battery. Once again, I love it because I charge it once, and usually I've never run into a problem where I ran out of juice. Plus, in between cuts, it comes with a cool little stand. You just put it on top of it, boom, and it charges. And this one is Oster lithium ion. It's carbon. It'll cost you about 300 bucks just for the clipper, but it's an investment that will pay itself off almost momentarily. You will love what you do. It's easy, it's cool, and most importantly, it works and never fails. Next up is a clipper I bought recently. It looked cool, so I wanted to try it out, and it's the JRL Professional. Very interesting clipper. I think it's a brand new brand coming up. Once again, that's how you take the blade off. It's a brand new brand coming up, cordless clipper. You charge it, and it's kind of futuristic because if you look at it, it got a little LCD screen. So when you, let me put the clipper back on properly so I don't break them. There we go. So when you turn it on, you can see on the screen, it'll tell you the RPMs, how fast it's spinning, how many minutes you have to cut hair. You can change the time by making it spin faster. And of course the time changes because the motor is working a lot faster. And this is how you adjust the guard. So the cool thing is once you put it in place, it clicks and it won't move. So you don't have to worry about messing up fades. The only thing I don't like about this clipper is the guards. It's kind of hard in between haircuts to switch from different styles of guards because in my opinion, from my work, every guard for me has a different feel and I'm so used to it. So when I have to switch in between, it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but it's not that bad. What I love about this clipper is I use it a lot on kids' haircuts because all the other clippers are pretty loud. And anytime you cut kids' hair, to my astonishment, what scares kids is not even the cutting, it's the noise that the clippers make. And I had an experience once, the kid, he just put headphones on and was watching a cartoon and it was fine. But when he didn't have headphones on, anytime you get closer to the ear, you know, that buzzing sound freaked him out. So I tried these on him and it was cool because he was cool with it. Why? Because they're not as loud and they're real soft. So I like these clippers, they're pretty cool. Once again, I use them from time to time interchangeably, but you know, it's like an extra. They're a bit pricey, $150, You don't have to have them, but I wanted to try them out, and I guess I use them. Another one up is a little detailer. I think Whal has the same one, and it's called a Dragon Detailer, and it's this little guy right here. So originally I had a trimmer blade. I took it off and put this blade on, and this blade you're supposed to use for detailed design work. Because when you do design, sometimes the corners are too sharp or you need a little more detail, so it allows you to get in there. Honestly, in the past 3 months I bought them, I mean probably 5 months I bought them. I think I used them once. So it is what it is. Some people like it, some people don't. I realized that, you know, this is it. This is all I need to make a design. Maybe later on, as I get better, as I get, you know, greater in doing designs, I turn into some Michelangelo, Da Vinci. Maybe I'll start using this, but as of right now, it just sits around, collects dust, but it was a cool little gadget to buy. So these are my clippers that I use, that I love, and probably besides clippers, I will tell you this is a pretty cool thing. I saw it on Instagram once again, and it's a heater thing, a pick, and you turn the heat on and you use it like on black people's hair if you want to pick their fro out or if you want to comb their beard out, and it actually works pretty good. I like it, it's safe to use. Another thing I would highly recommend for every barber to have, especially when you're doing like white people hair, comb overs, is a good hair blow dryer with a nozzle on top. Absolutely essential. And I used to have a different one, but then one of my friends, Christina Bondarev, shout out to you, girl, she introduced me to this right here. And this bad boy is off the hook. Very nice motor, works perfect. I mean, dries hair fast. I love it. Babyliss Pro, and it's not expensive. So awesome thing to use. And what I love about it is when it dries your hair, it doesn't leave it freezy all over the place, but kind of keeps it all together. And then what I think every barber must have, invest in sooner or later, is a good pair of shears. Personally, I used to be afraid of shears and kind of didn't want to learn how to use them. But once I started working here, and I had one of the barbers pull me aside and teach me about certain things, how to work with shears, how to work with long hair, I will say today, it's a must. You gotta get yourself a pair of nice shears. They're about 200 bucks, maybe 100 bucks. You will not regret it because they cut smooth. But once you get your shears worked down, you become a versatile barber. And like PD The Rock on Instagram says, versatile barber is the aim. And that's what I want to be. I want to be able to, you know, comfortably stand in my chair, knowing that any customer that walks through the door, any customer, anything that he'll ask for, I can do it. And that's kind of my drive, my motivation, to provide quality service and to make sure I deliver greatness. See you later.